All right, so let's start the tier list here. Okay, first we have 50-50s, obviously a crucial part of the game. S, A, B, C, or D tier though? 50-50s. Like, you need to be able to take a 50. You have to be able to take a 50 to maintain control of where the ball is going to be after. I do think it's really important, but is it S tier? Probably not. A tier? Mr. Plus, what are you thinking? Xavier, what are you guys thinking? 50-50s. Being good at 50-50s. How beneficial do you guys think it is? I think I'm going to have to say 50-50s. I think I'm going to have to put it at A tier. What are we rating them on? This is rating them on how useful and beneficial they are. We're just going to rate them on how useful and beneficial they are. And compared to like how long it takes to learn them, or just in general, their use case scenarios, how often you can use them, how easy they are to learn. That's what we're going to judge them off of. So I'd say 50-50s. Obviously, it takes a lot of experience to learn properly, to do it properly. And I don't think it's good enough to be S tier. So this is the first one. I think I'm going to put it at A tier. I think that's pretty valid. So I'm going to leave this at A tier. Air dribble bump. Now, air dribble bump, we all know it's cheesy. We all know it's cheesy. It's something you can be really good at. And if you consistently pull it off, which is not too hard to do. Most people won't be blocking it until later on. But air dribble bump has got to be S tier, guys. It's not too hard to learn. It is not too hard to learn. Obviously, S tier. Air dribbling. Obviously, one of the first things you start to learn when you start doing aerials and stuff like that. Depending like how useful it is, you need. Yeah, air dribbling can be easy, but like you need to get a little bit of a hang for it. Air dribbling, being able to air dribble also leads to like being able to flip reset and all other things like that. So I'm air dribbling. Like I think air dribbling is gonna have to be S tier. I do think air dribbling is gonna have to be S tier because for you to be able to air dribble bump, you're gonna have to be able to air dribble. You know. What else is there? Is there something else like double flip reset? You're just gonna have to be able to air dribble. Xavier, you thinking it's B tier? You're thinking air dribbling is B tier? Nah. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna have to put air dribbling. I think I might actually put it into A tier because for air dribble bumps, like you don't need to be perfect at air dribbling. You can like get a touch or two and then get in front of the ball, bump the guy off. So I'm gonna put it at A tier. Then we have air roll. Air roll, I'm just gonna consider like your manual air roll. Your manual air roll. You got what else? Your air roll left, air roll right. Obviously, something you need for shots, something you need for passing. It's something you need for overall control. So that's just gonna be an easy S tier. Easy, obvious S tier. Astral pinch. So for those guys that don't know, you could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I am like 99% sure. This is when you pinch into the corner. So you pinch from the corner. It's very situational. It doesn't happen often. I don't think I've ever seen it scored in game. I literally seen a person score it once, and this was like when we were playing a casual game, of course. So for the use case scenarios, like, and for everything else we got here, like I think I'm gonna have to put this into D. I think it might be one of the most useless ones here. All right, backboard plays. Going into backboard plays, obviously like a core aspect of defense. Let's just go back to Mr. Plus here. But if you're good at it and get it into the goal like 100% time, it's B tier. Yeah, I would have to agree on that. But like, it's not even much of learning. There's just too much luck involved to be like super consistent at it. That's my opinion on it. You know, I can definitely see how if someone's effective at it, it goes up to B tier. It's kind of like ceiling pinches. So I'm gonna have to leave it at D. Backboard plays. Obviously a crucial aspect of defense. Something everyone's just gotta learn, and it's a pain to learn at the start because like you just fail so much, but eventually when you do learn it, it's really, really, really important because you just gets the ball much faster. You conserve boost because you're flying off the wall. However, I don't think it's S tier. I see Mr. Plus suggesting here that it's an A tier, and I think I have to agree with that. So I'm gonna go with A tier. Camera control. I'm gonna count this as flicking ball cam on and off in the correct moments, as well as using your right stick to be able to view what's going on. I do think turning ball cam on and off at correct moments is a lot better than using your right stick. Like, it happens a lot more, and it's just something that's a lot more relatable to a lot of players. So I do think for camera control and having just good camera control and how important it is and effective it is, I think I might have to leave it at C tier. I do think it's important, but it's like people get used to how to use the camera quite fast. People don't really make mistakes on how to use the camera much, you know, and if they do, they're only in like silver or something like that. I would say C tier is good to have a lot of information. It is. I would say C tier as well, so I was saying C tier. Car control, this is a bit broad obviously, but having good car control, it like if you have good car control, you're going to be able to do a lot of stuff with the ball, and it's going to make it a lot easier. So if you're trying to learn mechanics with the ball before having good car control, it's just going to make it so much harder. So like I think this is quite obvious, and we're just going straight into the next one after this. So I am going to put this on S here. I'm pretty sure there is no debate on this. Ceiling challenges. Now, ceiling challenges is something I don't do very often, and I do want to incorporate it a little more because it does feel a little weird when you are trying to learn it. You think it's a Xavier? I think that's respectable. That could be respectable. Ceiling challenges are like the go-to thing to stop players that are good in the air. It's like the earliest way you can challenge them and conserve boost and do it in like a controlled way. If you couldn't do that, then I would put it at B tier, but I am going to put it on A tier purely because of that. Ceiling pinches. This is something I truly enjoy doing, and I do think it's really underrated. However, I don't think it's S tier. Like, the thing about ceiling pinches is that not a lot of people do it right now. It is not something that is very popular. So people don't expect it coming. If there is a time where people do expect it coming, it's gonna drop in tiers a lot. But if you can pull off ceiling pinches effectively, and just have good control over the power and just the general area of where you want it, I would say used perfectly, I think it's an A tier. This might be a bit of a hot take. I'm thinking of A or B, but if you're like somewhat good at them and a slightly lower rank, I think they'd be A tier. As you go up, they might be a little less useful, but I do think I'm gonna put them at A tier. This can go down very fast. You're thinking S tier, Xavier? See, the ceiling pinches are not higher than B tier, so I was kind of thinking about that. If you can pull them off perfectly, I would say A tier. But for the general audience and people playing the game, actually, I'd go B tier. I'd go B tier. That's actually, yeah, that's true. Now, ceiling shots. For ceiling shots, let's say these are, let's include the 3 variations. So the one where you like go onto the ceiling and you drive around and onto the ceiling, and then you slowly drop off. The same as that. That's the easiest, most basic one. The second one is the variation where you pop it up, fly to the ceiling, touch the ceiling, and you have a flip. That's 2. So we'll include all 3. The third one is where you actually air dribble the ball all the way up to the ceiling, then take a touch, and then try to finish off that with a flip. I would say the third variation is the hardest, but it's the most effective. So ceiling shots, Xavier, you're suggesting B. Ceiling shots, you think it's a solid A. It's definitely A or B. Ceiling shots. See, it depends. In ones, it's great. In threes, not so much because you don't have the space. But it's a great way to like get a flip at a low, with low effort. So I think it's gonna have to be A, Xavier. I'm sorry about that, but I think it's gonna have to be A. Ceiling shuffle, those I'm not sure if you guys know, but it's obviously a freestyling mechanic. You just shuffle on the wall. I mean, with regards to how useful it is competitively, I'm just gonna have to be a D. This is gonna have to be a D. You're almost better off just gliding on the ceiling. Chain dash. Chain dash is great to make you a faster player. Chain dash is made to make you a faster player. Well, it makes you a faster player. And when I say chain dash, I mean wall dashes. I don't think it's here. Yeah, it's not. So we'll say wall dashes. So instead of chain dash, we'll say wall dashes. I do think it's good, but I don't think it's game changing. It's definitely one of the only ways you can get faster when you don't have boost, obviously. You think it's an A here? Chain dash is high B. You do think it's becoming more important? I agree on that. Okay, so I'm actually gonna put it into B. We are gonna put it into B. At the very end of this, I'm actually gonna rearrange them inside the chart to make them like rearranged, you know, just so they're in order. Rage, yeah, Mr. Plus. You think chain dash is A or S tier, Xavier? I think it's a little too high. I don't think it gives you enough speed, Xavier. Clears, I think having great power on your clears, having them accurate where it leads to a teammate, I think that is like so underrated. Stop reading your mind, Mr. Plus. Oh well, what can I say? Clears, I think, are great, but if you can boom them the correct way, as I said, I think I'm gonna put them B tier. Having like an effective clear, it might be even A tier, might be like low A tier. You were just about to say we can always rearrange it at the end, bro. Yeah, we'll rearrange it at the end in their specific tiers. We still have a lot to go, so let's go a little bit faster. So we go clears. I think I'm gonna go high B tier or low A tier. I'm gonna go low A tier for the moment. Defensive saves sounds like a little broad, but let's just keep it let's just take it as obviously being good at saves, as well as redirecting them in a way where it keeps the opponent from not taking another shot. So like dropping it into the corner, staying close after the save, and maintaining close possession. I think that is very underrated and important. I think it might be a high A tier or even almost S tier. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this at A for the moment. Xavier, you're thinking S tier, but is it like truly like I'm talking about getting the save and getting a good touch after, or one that stays close, or one that's directed in a specific way for a specific reason? I would say that's A tier. S tier seems a little high for that because you can always save the shot after that. Demoing. I don't know, guys, but to me, demoing is an S tier. Straight up S tier. I don't think this is a hot take. For people that are like keeping up with the meta, people that are keeping up with the meta know how important demos are, especially in the team games. So demoing is S tier for me. This is like one of the things that is really changing. It's like one of the ways that you can completely wipe a player out and completely destroy the rotation. S tier for me.
When your team concedes a last-minute equalizer, or feeling pressured.
No, if your offense is way better, then it doesn't matter if your defense sucks. It definitely has something to do with that. You don't have to worry if you're losing. Yeah, but we're not talking about getting every single save, Xavier, as well. Double flip reset. I think it's good. It can extend your range on how far you like bring a certain specific type of ball. But I don't think it's like that necessary for anything. It gives you like nice control over your flip cancels. It's something you can like add on to the stuff you do. You think it's A tier? Being able to get it and like being aware that you can extend it by that little bit more by getting another flip. And if you have like low amounts of boost. Compared to how like hard they can be to learn. I think it's gonna have to be B tier. I think it's gonna have to be B tier because a lot of the time the second flip is not that useful. I personally don't think the second flip is not that useful. You're getting out better off getting the first flip and then like air dribbling your way into the goals and using that flip to score. No rage, you think it's an A? The only time I'd like do that over like a normal flip reset is if I didn't have a whole lot of boost and I really want to get that extra like flip to bring me further. I dare you to defend a double reset. That can be hard, but it's also hard to defend a person that like gets a flip early, keeps it, and uses it wherever you want. But by the time you get like two resets, that's a good bit of time. So I'm gonna go for B tier. It's gonna be high B tier. It's gonna be high B tier, but we might check in on that later. Double taps. All the resets are at least A. I don't know. Oh my god, Rage, you're throwing? Maybe. Keep in mind, everyone's gonna have different opinions in this. Double taps. A mechanic that's pretty easy to learn and is extremely effective. However, it can easily be stopped by people just being on the backboard, which happens very often. Double taps I'm gonna have to leave at A. Yeah, I agree. Double taps are gonna have to be A, especially if you can get them in like the area or somewhere really close to it pretty much every time. That's gonna have to be an A. Fast aerials. You guys know how fast aerials are. I'm not even gonna talk about it. S tier, straight up, no questions asked. S tier. If you can't fast aerial, how are you ever meant to do any of the other things? What's good, CC Plays? Welcome in. What's good? We're doing a tier list. Licks resets. This is probably a thing most of you guys might not know. But licks resets are a way of getting a flip without what is it again? It's a way of getting a flip without jumping off the wall, I think. So it gives you like an opportunity to get a flip without jumping off the wall. So it's very inconsistent at the moment. It's very inconsistent. Not a lot of people are doing it quite yet. Like, it might be an upcoming thing. It's been out for quite a while, but clearly it's not making it into the meta as of right now. It takes a little while to do. So you can get a flip in the air without basically... Like, you can double jump off the wall. What's up, Rooftop? So as of right now, I do think there's potential for it. And it's like a good way. And I've seen a few clips of people doing it. I think I'm just going to leave it as C. Well, it's going to be low C. And that's if you can do it quite well. Flicks. I mean, flicks. If you can flick the ball every single time to the top right, top left with power, I mean, that is just unstoppable. It's going to be S tier. S tier. Easy S tier for me. There's people that show like perfect examples of how to do it. It's so, and then if you get so good at flicks to the point where people literally start fearing when you're about to flick, you can just drop it low and then you have like 2 options pretty much every single time. Yo, what's up? What's up, James? What's up? What's up? We're doing a tier list. How am I doing, man? Good, man. Good, man. And yourself? So we have flip cancels. So flip cancels, like, let's just keep it broad and, you know, flip cancels for shots, flip cancels for double flip resets. Just flip cancels for everything, for recovering. Getting good control of them, I think, is like actually extremely underrated. Rooftop, sorry you're late. I didn't know you were streaming. No worries, man. No worries, man. James, I hope your stream is going well. It's good, man. It's good, man. We're multi-streaming at the moment. So, flip cancels. I think they're gonna have to be not S tier, but I do think they're really, 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 really important. So I'm gonna put this up to A tier. Yeah, that seems about right. Flip resets. Now I'm gonna talk about flip resets as like only being able to do them super effectively and efficiently. I'm not really talking about a goal trying to learn them and every shot is quite poor. It doesn't have a lot of power, you know. So that's what I'm going to talk about when I say flip reset. So I do think those are S tier. They are S tier. Just the flip. The second you get the flip, you open like so many different possibilities, you know. James, are you playing only this game? Do you mean like, do I only play Rocket League? Is that all? I'm going to be playing Rocket League after this. I'm on PC. I'm on PC, James. Welcome in, by the way. I'm pretty sure I already welcomed you in. So, S tier. Guys, feel free to give your ideas as well and opinions of what you think. James, join along. Rooftop, Plus, Xavier, CC Plays. Feel free to judge me a little here. Love your stream. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Make sure to drop in your 5 cents here and what you think. Ground dribbles. So ground dribbles. Ground dribbles, I'm just gonna consider like power slide cuts. Bounce dribbles. Like wave dashes into like cuts. I'm gonna count as the ground dribbles. Rooftop, I see you're saying musty flicks A tier. Let's go in a row. Let's go in a row. So we're going to go from left to right. Left to right. Left to right. Let's not skip yet. So ground dribbles, being effective and good at it, I think I am going to put at A tier. So as I said at the very end, I'm going to rearrange it. Like these individual ones in their tiers. So ground dribbles, I'm going to have to put into A tier. Ground pinches. I think ground pinches are great. And they're very like unpredictable when you get them off. That's when you actually get them off. But having a setup for it when you're playing ones is not too bad. Twos and threes is like, it's hard to set it up. People know what you're doing. If you're coming from the sky and the ball is like right in this area, people instantly know you're going for a ground pinch and it's pretty much blocked almost every time. The further the pinch is, the easier it is to read where it's going to go. So I'm going to have to put a C tier. Let's see what few of you are saying here. You think it's A tier, Rooftop? I think it's a little too high. It's good when you get it off, but getting it off, it does not happen very often at all. James, I see you're asking me for favorite hobbies. We'll talk about that after, right? I just want to keep it on topic for the moment, and then I'll make sure to include some chill talk. Your favorite hobbies? Chilling and gaming and gym? Nice, man. Nice, man. I'm very similar. So ground pinch, C tier. You think it's still B tier rooftop? I think it's still C tier. Sorry, but I think it's still C tier. Half flips, obviously, it is something that's extremely important. You need them for multiple situations. It's like the only thing that can make you go from here straight back. So straight from here, straight back. So like, I don't think it's S tier, but you think half flips are B tier? But how else are you supposed to get back? And like, and how easy it is? You think it's A tier rooftop? I kind of agree with that a little more. You think B tier? In fairness, yeah, you don't really need them often if you have good positioning, and then the only time, like, yeah, that is true. It is the only way to go for like from going straight to straight backwards. But it doesn't happen. You actually don't need them that often. It's good to have though, but maybe C tier makes sense. Kickoffs, I think it kind of depends on what game mode you play, and the lower the amount of players in that game, I think the more important it becomes. So depending, like, I'm just gonna have like a general kind of thing. So yeah, kickoffs S tier. I have to agree with that. Especially in ones, like, so much. The initial possession you get from a one kickoff in a high level lobby dictates who's gonna score the goal next. So I'm gonna put this into S tier. Let's speed this up because we still have a few going here. Coxer pinch. I think it is something that's pretty good. Doesn't work great when you're in the higher ranks as well as in lobbies with like when it's like 3v3 or something like that. It's good in like, it can be good in ones because you can get a bit of a surprise factor on the opponent you're playing. They are pretty good, but B tier max, I would say. And that's if even B tier. I would C tier for Coxer pinches. Yeah, I'd say C tier sounds around. Pinches in general need a look factor. That is very true. Yeah, so just for overall reliability, I'm just gonna have to say C tier. Moxie flick, we can include that as a Moxie flick or a 45-degree flick. S tier. No questions asked. It is a flick that is extremely fast. It can go over 100 kilometers every single time, pretty much. It can go over D tier. Guys, Moxie flicks are one of the fastest flicks you can do in the game. It gives the most power, and you can recover it quite easily. There's no way it's D tiers. Green Rocket Leaguer, I see you speed flip. You're saying speed flips are going to be put into S tier. Let's go in a row. Make sure you guys help me out in a row. So we're going to go from left to right. Have I seen Moxie's flick? Absolutely. That is a rocket. It's an absolute rocket. Literally pocket rocket that comes out of nowhere. Moxie recovery. So I'm not sure if everyone knows here, but I know Mr. Plus, you know what a Moxie recovery is. It's just another way of recovering kind of onto the sidewall. I think it is quite underrated. It is pretty good. But I would say it's probably B tier. I would call it B tier. Mr. Plus, you're saying it's B tier as well? I'm gonna have to agree. Is yourself, Dum Reaper a good trio? We'll talk about it after Rooftop. James, let's keep on topic. So we're gonna go B tier. Multi-flip reset. So say multi-flip resets, any flip reset above a double flip reset. So a triple flip reset, quad flip reset. If anyone gets a quintuple flip reset, I would say it's like It's kind of hard to debate if it's like B tier. Multi-flip resets? Do you think so? But how? It's hard to learn, you know, and do it consistently and every time. Green Rocket Leaguer, you're thinking B tier? It's B tier. Sounds good. It sounds good. What's up, Aura? What's up, Aura? Rooftop, you're thinking A tier? I'm thinking B tier. I'm thinking B tier. Level with double flip resets. Mr. Plus, you're thinking every type of reset is above A at least? Nah. I don't think so. Don't get me wrong. Flip resets give you that surprise factor about how and when you're going to use the flip reset. But like when you're getting into like the higher flip resets, you're getting into all these moves where they're more about freestyling, you know? And like pulling them off every time. Resets in general are so useful. I absolutely agree with that. Great words there from Green Rocket Leaguer. You only need one reset. And you do. And that's why it's up there on S tier. Did I have flip resets yet? Yes, so it's in S tier. But the multi and all, I think it's like a nice addition, but I don't think it beats one flip reset. So I think I'm going to put it B tier. James, we're just going to keep this on topic, all right? We're going to finish this and then we can chat around a little bit. Musty Flick. I think Musty Flicks are fantastic. Honestly, I don't know any other mechanic that can like, other than like pinches, for example, but any other mechanic that can speed up the ball from like basically nothing into like a super sharp angled flick over someone. It can be done like on the ground, which isn't so great, I don't think. But a Musty Flick, I think I'm gonna have to put I'm gonna have to put them into A tier if you can do them consistently and after a flip reset. Like it's almost like you get like pinch power off like kind of a level, not a level, like not so high above, like off crossbar height. You can get extreme power after flip resets. There's no other way to do it. I see Rooftop, you're saying A. I agree with that. You should mod me at 1M. We'll see. Passing, I think, is extremely underrated. Green Rocket League, you're saying passing? Oh, you're JK? Then never mind. I think passing is underrated. Extremely underrated. However, if you don't do it too much, because passing can really put you out of position. A tier, you guys are saying A tier. You guys are reading my minds. Green Rocket League, A to S tier. I gotta agree with that. Alright, you're saying B tier? I think that's a little low because you know what passing is great at? When you pass it to someone that's behind you, not only can they quite possibly get a much more powerful shot, but they also, what they do is like they shift the ball into a spot where suddenly the opponents are like backwards or like in an awkward way. They're like trying to save it in an awkward way. It is something that needs a bit of chemistry, but I think it's A tier. B tier is too low like Aura's rank. Damn Canadian. So I'm gonna put that A tier. Pogos, we're gonna go for all like different types of pogos. So I mean, like when you get like a flip off the ceiling and then you decide to pogo, which you need a lot of space for, get a flip reset into pogo. And some people use like pogos to recover a little bit better. And then a pogo can be used like when you're landing, it can like kind of, let's just say like this is the car and this is the ball. You can kind of like boink, you know, you kind of boink it over. So I do think it's quite useful, but it's like a nice bailout. But like B tier at most. I just hit 2 double flip resets in 5 minutes. Nice one, Rooftop. Pogos are B tier, maybe even C. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. It's like low B tier or high C tier. I'd say C tier probably. But that does not mean that they're not useful. That does not mean like they're not useful. Like camera control, licks, resets, ground punch, boxer punch, it all seems quite in that area. Pre-flips. I think pre-flips. I definitely gained more love for pre-flips recently, seeing how like they can improve your speed of your plays. It's just, it gets you a lot faster, and that is one of those ways that you can actually beat your opponents to a lot of balls. So I see some suggestions saying that it's B tier. I think B tier is it's, yeah, pre-flips are not necessary, but I do think it's something that's good to have. And if you're playing against someone that can't do them effectively, but you can, you're getting an edge in speed, you know? But it's only for like getting to the balls and stuff. So I think it's like a B tier. You can use pre-flips in the air and stuff like that as well, and off double taps and stuff. Psychos. Now, Psychos is a fantastic mechanic that absolutely changing the game. You can get like such unexpected goals, but it is so hard to do. It is so hard to do. Green Rocket League, you're saying Psychos D tier, puts you out of position if you miss. It does. It's risky. It's risky. Like, people don't have it down at the consistency where it's like dangerous almost every time, or 70-90% of the time, you know. It is something that I think with time and years it's going to go up in the ranks, but being able to do it as of right now, we're talking about psych. When we say psychos, just to make it clear, I'm not talking about like sidewall redirects. I'm talking about psychos off your backboard. So even being able to get like a touch off of it can like lead to a pretty good clear, or if not a goal. I think it's gonna have to be C tier. What's up, Shush? What's up, Shush? Psycho is B tier at pro level and A in like GC to SSL. Pros are now prepared for psychos. Exactly. Exactly. That's the issue, you see. So I think I'm just going to have to leave it at C tier. They're great, like. 3. Recoveries. Recoveries are mad important. They are mad important. It's literally one of those things that instantly boof. What am I saying? Buff your speed. It instantly buffs your speed. Green Rocket League, you're judging these by the usefulness in your rank, as you should. Recoveries S tier, straight S tier. Shush, Mr. Plus, both saying S tier. I'm gonna have to say S tier. It's S tier all the way. What are we even talking about? Redirects. So getting in front of the play, redirecting the ball, sidewall redirect. They are good. But are they S tier? I don't think so. But I do think they're quite high. Quite high. Like, if you can like get a consistent read off them, like you can definitely get really, really consistent at them when someone passes to you, and you can almost always get them on target. But like using them off the sidewall can be a little bit harder. But if you can get the read on the sidewall almost every time at like various speeds, people will expect it coming, but sometimes it comes like a rocket and you just don't have enough time to save it. So I think I might put this at A tier. Again, at pro level, they don't work as well. They don't, and that is true. They don't work as well. But if you have like that, like sidewall redirect, and you have the speed backed up by it, but let's see here. Are redirects more like as important as 50-50s, air dribbling, backboard plays, ceiling challenges, ceiling shots, clears? Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably not as good as those. I think I might lower it to B tier. Yeah, I think I might lower it to B tier. Rocket League, you can totally do those in your net. But you can somewhat do normal redirect. Shooting. You know, shooting, like, it's crucial. D tier, Green Rocket League, or what are you talking about? It is absolutely not D tier. S tier, not a question, like, obviously. Speed flips, I think they're way more important than they used to be. I mean, you need them for kickoffs, you need them for everything. Like, I think it's a S tier, easy S tier. You think A tier, Mr. Plus? I don't know, it's a little low. It's like, it's the thing that gets you this touches and on the ball, the unique touches on the ball and like flip control. It's S tier. You could play without them, but like it like limits you so much. I think I'm gonna have to go S tier. High A tier Rage, be honest. I think low S tier. I think low S tier. I think we're like 9 years into the game, and right now almost every rank is doing it. And it's for that reason, because you just need to keep up. You just gotta keep up. Shush, what are you thinking about speed flips? Especially bronze is doing it right. Yeah, right now you meet like plats and golds that are like easily speed flipping. Like, it's becoming the norm, you know. Are you thinking A or S? Yeah, Shush, what are you thinking? Do you think speed flips are S tier? S? See? Shush says S. Oh, I almost spilled water on my PC. In my opinion, it's S tier, and most people are now saying it's S tier as well. So you guys can like have your own debate in the chat there. Squishy save, something that's useful, obviously not necessary. It can get you out of sticky situations, as well as allow you to like recover faster if you have like low boost. I think B tiers is quite respectable. Actually, if not lower, if not C, to be honest. They're nice, and C is still a respectable rank. C does not mean it's garbage. I see Shush saying C. Rooftop, you think it's A? Are you sure it's not a little high? That sounds like a little high, no? Do you really need squishy saves like that? I think I'm just gonna have to put a C tier. You always use them and it always works? B seems a little high. And guys, remember that at the end we're gonna reorder them over here. And we're gonna do it fairly quick. Stalls. I'm gonna have to admit I don't really do stalls much. I know how to do them, but like I haven't found effective ways to use them. I know Shush, you use them quite a bit. But from what I'm seeing here, they're probably a little more useful than D tier, but I would say C is probably the limit. Yeah, they're okay. Stall is B tier? Stall and B tier is a bit of a stretch, I think. Stalls are not B tier. I'm not no expert at stalls. I don't use them much myself. B tier? Rooftop, you think B tier? Guys, it only stops your car in one spot and like gives you a little more airtime. Guys, it's gonna have to be C. Team bumps. So you guys know it. The team bump plays, rotating out, bumping. S tier, no question. Guys, I am fully convinced bumping is just the way to go. It's the way to go. It's the only way you can like take people out of it. out of the play. You know, it's the only way that you can just make them disappear. However, they did get slightly nerfed because of the camera, because you can like not come back faster now, but at least you know where you're coming back. So demos overall got like a tiny nerf. Bro, stalls auto stop all vertical momentum. They do. Very helpful. Yeah, but you can flip. You know, you can use a flip. I know that they stop. You stop all vertical momentum, but so can a flip, you know? Why would you use a stall when you can just use a flip in that situation? Team pinches. Takes 2 players. It involves a little bit of luck. Something that can generate a lot of power. I don't think it's something that's super reliable though. I don't think it's something that's like really, really reliable. A flip sends you flying, Rage? I know a flip sends you flying, but we're talking about Green Rocket League are saying it stops all your vertical momentum. Any flip stops all your vertical momentum. So Team Pinch, yes. Team Pinch seems like a D tier. I think it might be a D tier. C is kind of pushing it. It's flashy, it's cool, but like how often does it actually work? People like dunk you and stuff. Welcome in, Batman. Welcome in. Twist flip. Guys, do you know what twist flip is? Is a twist flip when you like pre-flip into the ball from the wall? Is that what a twist flip is? Guys, what's twist flip? Rocket Leaguer. It's a half flip? No. Half flip is a half flip. Twist flip is a twist flip. What's going on, internet? It's hard to explain. Guys, I'm just going to have to trust the chat with this one. Mr. Plus, you're saying B tier? You don't know what that is? I don't know what a twist flip is either. It's a speed flip, but your nose points upwards afterwards. Yeah. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So it's one of those touches you get when you try to pre-flip into the ball. Like say you do a twist flip when you're like trying to air dribble from one side of the pitch to the other, right? Is that what you're talking about? A twist flip? Yeah, I think those are pretty good. I think it's like a B tier. Guys, I think it's like a B tier. It's what keeps your air dribbles going. When you can pre-flip into them and make it like touch exactly where you want them to. A is a little high, internet, no? D tier? D, no, it's not D tier. You could do other flips as well. You could do like a simple speed flip. Nah, I think it's gotta be a B tier. I think it's gotta be B tier. B. I think they're better than camera control, licks, resets, ground pinches, cookster pinches, pogo, cycles. I think it's better than that. Sorry guys, I'm going B tier. Rage, trust me, but I know what you're talking about now, and I know what it is. Wave dash. I feel like Shush might have a good answer on this, but is it S tier? Like, we all know wave dashes are important. And it's like the main go-to for speed. S tier? Man, Rage is throwing? I'm not throwing. Green Rocket Leaguer. You think it's B tier? Wave dashes, Mr. Plus, you're saying S tier. Internet, you're saying S tier. Rooftop, you're saying S tier. S stands for Shush. Okay. Yeah, I do agree it's S tier. I'm throwing for content? Absolutely not. And Zapdash, something that's like been getting more popular recently. I think it's great, but like The consistency of it is definitely not up there yet. I do think it's pretty good, like a curve dash as well. No, I think it's a B. I think it's a B, if not C. B or C. A? You think it's an A? I like Zap. I like Zap Dash too. A, I think, is a bit of a stretch, no? It's good for recoveries. It is good for recoveries, but how often does it actually completely change the game because you done the Zap Dash? I think in the whole while I've been trying to do Zap Dashes, I think like 4 or 5 times in the last not few thousand, but like 1,000 hours, I actually done a Zap Dash where it actually meant something and changed the outcome of a specific play. You waste your time when I use Smack? You think it's C tier? Zap Dash B tier? I think B tier is pretty respectable. If you can do it consistently, I think B tier is respectable. Green Rocket Leaguer, you think it's F tier? Okay, let's do B tier.